Good morning, guys. Gage and Gary about to hit the trail early morning. We're going on an exploration adventure today. Somewhere I haven't been in 30 plus years. My grandfather brought me to a beautiful high falls when I was a kid. River full of trout, and I remember fishing it with him. Don't remember where it is. My dad doesn't remember where it is. But today Gage and I are going to travel many miles and we're going to go find it. Well, the sun is just coming up, so perfect time to head out. All right, get up there. Are you in charge of the snacks? Am I putting my pack sack in there with you? I don't know about that. You ready to go for a big hike, buddy? I know you always are. Well, we're here. Gage knows it. His tail's wagging. He's all excited, ready to go for a run. Let's do some exploring, guys. So the whole point of this video is to get into some new territory in the bush, and I'm not 200 yards from the truck, and there are trees, branches snapped off up here above me. I find it odd. It's like 10 or 11 feet up there. I'll show you. Here's the trail that I'm hoping leads down to the river, and right here off the side of it, look at these branches. They're snapped off up there. That one is at least 10 feet, and that's probably 12 feet high. I don't know. What would do that? I'm not saying it isn't natural, but there are snapped branches all the way down this trail. So, I mean, I don't know. What does that? Trail is just a little bit wet going in here. I hadn't planned on getting soaked, but we are. So the trail I came in on is just over here 30 feet, and I noticed a clearing down here in the woods, and I thought, well, I'm going to take a look. And I saw something over here. Old furniture. How old has that got to be? Look at the layer of moss on that sucker. Hey, Gage? And there's another bunch of springs. Is that an old mattress over here? I see a bunch of coiled springs. There's the trail we're coming down. And then right here, there's no trail left. I don't see any trail. I thought this was going to take us down to the river, but that's pretty thick. Well, I'm still trying to force my way through the bush here, and I'm actually stepping on all kinds of junk. Bunch of old cans down here. An old boot. There's definitely no trail at this point, guys. I've come another 100 yards. I know the river is down here somewhere, but I'm not sure how far it is. I don't have any cell service. I tried to pull up Google Maps just to see, am I close to the river? Mosquitoes are terrible down here. We're gonna head back out towards the main road where the truck is, and there is another trail there, like a new logging trail. Maybe that will take us down to the river. I got to get out of here. I'm not going to bushwhack a couple miles through that. Sorry, guys. It's just the bugs are too bad, and I'm just not going to do it. From the shape and style of that boot that I found back here, I'm going to say 1940s homestead. That furniture could very well be as well. So, hey, we got a new spot we can come and detect in the spring. But other than that, so far a bust on what I'm looking for. Wow, I'm just kind of forcing my way back towards the truck. I'm off the trail. I don't even know where the trail is. I just found something really cool here. Look at this. You guys know what that is? I think I know what that is. I think that is a really heavy-duty old sleigh that they used for bringing out logs in the winter. It's been here a long time. Look at this. I don't know what that little mechanism on top here is, but it's a wheeled something that's been pushed up by the trees. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's what that main frame is there. An old draft horse pulling sleigh for bringing out heavy duty timber, logs. All right, I'm back in the clearing. There's the old chair that I showed you guys earlier, and only 40 yards over there behind me is that skid. So I think this could be a camp. This could have been a logging camp right here. We are not far from the river. I know the river is here, and they would have brought logs down that river. 1940s would make sense. My great uncle worked in one of these camps when he was a boy. My great uncle was the cook's assistant. And what that entailed was, take your rifle, boy, and go shoot a deer every day. He had to shoot a deer to feed the lumber camp. That was his job for 3 years. And the guys used to make fun of him, he'd say, because they said he was too good at his job. They were sick of eating deer meat. So and that would have been, I don't know, probably late 40s. And so there were lumber camps all through the northern bush up here, and I am 100% sure that's what we've stumbled on here. I had no idea this was here. So I'm gonna have to bring the metal detector back here. Now I do wonder, I see a really cool quartz, well, not really, yeah, kind of a rose quartzy stone here in the middle of this clearing. That I don't think is natural. Did they move that here for some purpose? There was definitely a building right here, guys. There's the remains of furniture in this clearing. You can see it clear as day. All these new trees have come up. Why is that stone here? It's just odd to me. It had to have been placed here. That's what this trail is, and maybe, you know, 80 years ago it did lead down to the river. It doesn't anymore. Right in there is where we're gonna come back and detect someday. Lumber camp found right there. And here's the trail. We're gonna head back out to the main road, and there's a new logging road that goes in over here. It doesn't head towards the river at the beginning, but maybe if we follow it long enough, maybe it does go down to the river. So there's also this big clearing right here, which I didn't pay too much attention to when we came in. Here's the trail, but that clearing will need to be detected in the spring as well. That could have been part of the lumber camp. Here's the new logging road, guys. Kind of parallels the old trail for the first little bit. I don't know if this is going to take us down to the river. It's at least a mile to the river from where we parked the truck. I remember when I was a kid, it was a 25-minute, 30-minute walk with my grandfather. Well, it's nice to get out here and explore, even if we don't find what we're looking for. So both my great uncle and my grandfather worked the lumber camps when they were just kids, you know, not much more than teenagers, 12, 13, 14 years old. And they came from the farm, and they were pretty smart about, you know, they knew that they would have to go do this work, and they trapped on the farm for a season or two before. And my great uncle bought a rifle, and he bought a .32 special. And that was a deer gun, and so that's how he became the camp cook helper, right? And then he got that job, and he was smart. He didn't want to do all the hard labor in the logging camp. My grandfather was equally smart. He bought a chainsaw. So he bought one of the first 55cc saws you could get. There were not many saws back in those days. Everything was hand hewn, you know, hand saws, axes. And the first season, I remember my dad saying he could hardly lug that saw around. But by the end of the season, he was respected by all the guys, because not only did he have, you know, the saw that could make life easier for them, I guess he got pretty strong hauling that thing around, and he worked pretty hard. So good on those old guys. So here's the conundrum. You guys see how I'm dressed, right? I got the pants on, which I showed you earlier, but I decided to wear a t-shirt. It's going to be 28 degrees Celsius here shortly. It's probably already 25, 26, so very warm. But the bugs are so bad. I can't wear a long sleeve shirt because of the heat, but they're kind of driving me nuts right now. Deer flies and mosquitoes. Yeah, so we're 20 minutes into this hike down this road, and it's now kind of tailing away from the direction I want to go. I'm gonna put up the drone, I think, and see how far we are. I can't bushwhack from here back down to the river, you know, even if it's a half mile, it's too much. But if this trail swings back over and comes close, and I think the best way to figure that out is to put the drone up. What is it, buddy? Gage is barking here. I'm trying to fly the drone. It's up right now, and he's barking like mad over here. So, I just put the drone up, and I did find the waterfall. That would have been the trail that we used 35 years ago, the first trail I started in on. My grandfather would have had us hike in that trail, and eventually it would have cut down to the river. Now, with the drone, I went over here probably almost a mile, there's a new road, comes off the highway, and somebody has built a house, looked like a house from the drone view, right where the high falls is. So time has passed Gary on again. This was a secret hidden little place that my grandfather took me many years ago. Somebody lives there now, so there are hundreds and hundreds of empty miles of woodlands up here. So I drove a lot of kilometers to get up here this morning. And what we're going to do is we're going to pack up, we're going to hike the mile out to the truck, we're going to take the truck down some of the old logging roads back here and finish off the video that way. We're just going to look for signs and wildlife and whatever we can find and enjoy the rest of the day. I mean, it was pretty close to 100 kilometers to drive here, so we might as well do a bit more exploring, I guess. Even though I'm not going to get to the waterfall, which was the whole point of the video, we'll call the video something else. I don't know. Look at the deer flies on my poor dog. 100 of them. Come on, let's get out of here, buddy. Yeah, let's get out of here.